Okay, let's do this one last time. Okay, so as you probably know, it's not the last time. We still have Far From Home to go, but just for the sake of the reference, pretend it is. I hope you're all doing alright. Welcome back to Film Studios. This is part 8. Part 8, god damn. That's a lot of reviews. Of my Spider-Man review series, and today, the one that we will be reviewing is Into the Spider-Verse. So, Into the Spider-Verse is an absolutely amazing Spider-Man film. When I saw the first trailer, I was very skeptical. I thought the animation looked really janky. I didn't think I would like it. And I don't know, I just didn't know how I felt about the film as a whole. So I was very nervous going into this film. But man, when I got out of that cinema, I could not take the smile off my face. I loved this film. It's definitely one of my favourites, and I don't know, it's so different, and this wouldn't be a Spider-Verse review without me mentioning the animation. Like, the animation in this film is insane. It's so different from everything else, and how it looks stop motion, but it isn't stop motion. Like, it's all done in a computer, but it's got that stop motion sort of feel to it. And man, the way that they really rip it, like, it looks like it's ripped straight from the comics, man. Like how they do the patterning on everything, like the dots and the slight shading, like that looks amazing. It looks like it jumped straight out of a comic book page. And the animation is just insane. That's definitely one of the best parts of this movie. Another thing that I love about this movie, that I think it just gets so right, is the characters. The characters in this film are amazing. They're so, I don't know, like, they have such a small amount of like backstory, like through like the, okay, let's do this one last time thing. But you fully understand everything. And like, Miles obviously has been a character for a while in the comics, since like 2013 I think he debuted. But this film is like where he began. Like, since this film came out, Miles has become so mainstream, it's insane. Like, he has blown up, obviously, with the release of Spider-Man Miles Morales now with Insomniac, which is, again, an amazing game. But Miles has just, since Into the Spider-Verse, has just skyrocketed. And his popularity has just gone up and up and up, and it's still going. Yeah, it just gets the characters so right. I feel like Peter Parker is perfect. I don't know how I feel about blonde Peter Parker, because like obviously we don't get much time with him, but he seems like a pretty funny Spider-Man. He seems like, you know, a pretty decent Spider-Man. But Peter B is so relatable. Like, he's been doing it for so long, and he's gone through so much shit that he just like, he can't do it anymore. One of my favourite scenes with Peter B is the bit where Miles is about to say, come on man, you gotta help me, because like, with great power comes great responsibility. He's about to say, with great power comes great responsibility, and Peter B is like, don't say it man, just don't. I'm sick of that shit. Don't say it, just don't. Because I've heard it so many times, and I'm sick of it. And he's just done. He's so fed up of everything, and it's sad to see, but it's also, the best thing about that as well is that it's so great to see him get his passion back at the end of the film. Like, by the end of the film, he's ready to confront MJ again and try and fix things in their relationship. He's ready to be Spider-Man again. You know, like, he was scared of having kids, and his time with Miles taught him that, you know, maybe it's not so bad. And, you know, his overall arc is so cool. Like, the film is about Miles, but Miles' story affects Peter so much, and it's so cool to see that. I love how Peter changes throughout the movie. Gwen was a nice introduction, you know, overall cool character, got me interested. You know, when we saw Into the Spider-Verse, that's kind of what stemmed the whole Spider-Gwen idea for our fan series. We were like, you know what, everyone's doing, like, you know, Spider-Verse is more mainstream since the movie. Let's do Spider-Gwen, because, you know, we had Caitlin as Gwen, but, you know, it fell through. As you know, there's been countless videos on it explaining what happened, but, yeah, that's where that sort of came from. So, you know, that impacted us. We like Spider-Gwen in that film. She's kind of cool. I wouldn't say her arc is as strong as Peter B's, but she's a cool character. And then obviously you've got Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham. And like, these characters are cool. Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with them, but they're more there just as additions, just to emphasize the whole Spider-Verse thing. They're not as deep characters, they're just sort of there. But they're all welcome, and they all make the film really enjoyable. One of my other favourite characters, last character that really stands out to me, is Uncle Aaron, Prowler. I can't remember who voices him, but I remember saying that I want him to be Blade in the MCU. Why can't I get his name? I can't get his name. But yeah, he's a great actor. He portrays this guy perfectly. And Uncle Aaron is just like the Prowler. So cool in this movie. I love the costume. I don't know what it is. A lot of people say, I don't know if a lot of people don't like it. It took me a while to come around to it. I was like, it looks a bit like, I don't know, it just looks like a piece of cloth over his head. But like, I don't know, I like it. It looks kind of cool, and I've got used to it. I love the big gauntlets, they look awesome. But yeah, characters in this film, super strong, love them. So, one of my favourite parts of this film, alongside a load of other favourite parts, I'll probably say my favourite part a lot, because it's just an overall banging film, is the spider sequence where Miles gets bitten. When he's like spraying on the wall, like he's doing his expectations painting in the subway with Uncle Aaron, that is a banger of a scene. That bangs, right? It just slaps. The way that the spider is like jumping about the place and changing colour with the cans, and the music in the background, and it's also like choppy, and we follow the spider as it goes on to Miles. So like, we're seeing what Miles is doing. Like, Miles is in focus, and like, we can pay attention to Miles, but the main focus is the spider, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's done so well. I don't even know how to explain it. This is another thing that ties into the sort of comic feel of this film, and it is the speech bubbles. The speech bubbles in this film, I don't know what it is, right? I love them, right? It's so cool. It gives that like Deadpool vibe, but right, like as we always see in the comics, when when Spider-Man is talking to himself, you get like the square boxes. So they're not like speech bubbles, they're like square boxes where like it's their thoughts, and they just pop up over the screen when Miles is like panicking. I think that's a really cool addition to the film. Makes me feel panicky as well, so it puts me in Miles' shoes. So another feature of this movie that I really like is the comedy, right? Now, this being a PG film, I thought the comedy was going to be kind of lackluster for me. I didn't think it'd make me laugh. I thought it'd be little kiddie jokes that like only kids would get. And you know, kids will understand all the jokes, but they're not kiddie jokes. They are funny, right? There are some funny moments in this film. I love the comedy in this film. It lands 90% of the time. There's some, like the one where he's like, I've washed my hands, that's why they're wet, I promise. Like, I don't really get that. It makes no sense. I don't know if anyone gets it. I think it's like he's being literal, like he literally has washed his hands, but because he's a pig, that he's like, you know, he said, I don't know. Comedy sucks. No, bro, what am I talking about? Comedy slaps. The comedy slaps. I don't know where that came from. Comedy in this film slaps. Fight choreography. Now, this is definitely, without a doubt, one of the most impressive things in this movie, right? The way that the animation and the fight choreography work together is gorgeous. It's so poppy, and like, because obviously it's low frame rate, it's like really poppy and punchy, and like one of the standout moments for me with the choreo, like the way that the whole fight is like laid out and done. One of the standout fights for me is the fight with Blonde, Peter and Prowler right at the beginning of the film. Fight slaps. The quips in it, again, the comedy, like it lands, it's funny. But the way like he's getting punched into like that thing that's like spinning, and he's under it, like fucking the way he's under it, like lying down, and then he like pops back out, punches him, and he puts him, like Prowler punches him back in there. And then instead of waiting for his opportunity again, he bare just stops the thing. He's just like, right, I've had enough of this. I'm out, like. This film is fan service to the max, right? The amount of Easter eggs that you can find in this film, right? If you go on YouTube and just find like, I don't know, all the Easter eggs in Spider-Verse or whatever, there are so many in this film. There are so many Easter eggs in this film. It is unbelievable. I don't know how they crammed them all in, but they are in there. Some of them are really secret, some of them stand out like a sore thumb, but there are so many of them in this film. The guys who made this film clearly understand, like, the fans. Like, this whole film is fan service. Like, this whole film is like, we're gonna make a film, we're gonna put a bunch of Spider-Man in it, and we're gonna link it to millions of different, you know, pop culture things, stuff to do with us, stuff to do with Spider-Man, stuff to do with other stuff. But like, for example, when they first go down into Peter Parker's basement, you see the Insomniac Spider-Man suit. When Miles does the first jump and trips and falls, when he first gets his powers, he knocks off the 2 letters 42. And that's the number of on the back of the spider, the bit. So like, you know, it links to like this, like, and he's right in the middle of them. So it's like, this guy is 42. Like, this guy is like subject 42. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, just little things like that, they're everywhere. Stan Lee pops up in the film like loads of times that you'll only know, like, literally not even blink and you'll miss it. I keep my eyes wide open. Apparently he's on the train right at the end when like Miles zips next to it, and he is, because the cool thing about this film as well is that you can pause it and there's no motion blur. So you can pause it at any point and you'll see it in like full high def and whatever. And people have paused it on that train bit and you can just see Stan Lee in the train, but it's like not even blink. I can keep my eyes open fully and just focus on it, and it just looks like a blur. So how people have managed to pause it at that exact point and find Stan Lee is insane. But yeah, fan service to the max. Right, I know I've said it a lot of times, but my actual favourite part of this film is when Miles becomes Spider-Man, right? This scene, this like whole like bit gives me goosebumps every single time. First time that Miles goes down into the basement, he looks at the Spider-Man suit and he's like sort of up to the chest on it, right? He goes back down there when he's ready to be Spider-Man and he fits into the mask. That's a cool little detail there, right? But I love the montage of him like spraying the suit and how he's like, you know, and the whole What's Up Danger dive-in scene and when he's like swinging to the place and whatever. That's so beautifully done. One of my favourite scenes in the film, and it's just gorgeous. So it deserved a mention in this review, all by itself. Like, it wasn't just, it's not an overall feature of the film, it's a specific part and it deserved a mention. So, that was my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is definitely one of the best Spider-Man films I have ever watched, okay? This film bangs, right? It slaps, the comedy lands, the action lands, the animation is beautiful to look at. Whilst jarring at the start on first watch, I love this film. It looks beautiful, it plays beautiful, the characters are amazing, the people who play the characters are perfect. It's just overall a really enjoyable film and I love it. People could say it's a kid's film, but it literally, like Nathan said about Ben 10 the other day, I wouldn't say it's a kid's film. It's a film that is suitable for kids. It bangs. It is good for all ages. It's not boring at all. It is amazing. What a good film. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you like all the rest of the content on our channel, please subscribe. We upload regularly every Wednesday and Saturday. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in probably the next Spider-Man film review, which will be Far From Home. Bye guys.